Hey, what's up everyone? It is me, Danny Lightning. Hope you guys are doing good today. So we're going to be taking a look at the free cars and the paid cars in the race pass, going over all these, and we're going to let you know which ones are actually worth getting and which ones are just big giant turd tacos. In the free tier, we have the Bentley Continental GT Speed, we got the Lamborghini Urus Performante, and then we have the Porsche 718 Spider RS. In the paid tier, we have the Intenza Emozione, however you say that. We have the Pandem V1 GR Supra, and then we have the Aston Martin Victor. Now, a couple of these cars are in collections. We'll go over that in a minute, but we're going to start off with the free tier of cars. Okay, so the very first car we're going to check out is the 718 Spider. I got this screenshot from Zoocar on YouTube, but this car runs a 7.5. It's doing 381 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.8, 0 to 100 in about 1.3. So when you max the car out and if you drive it perfect, these stats are actually looking pretty good. I mean, that's not too bad, right? 7.5 car. It's got a nice live racing setup, guys and gals. That's the thing. It's got a good live racing setup, which is the reason I do like this car. I mean, 7.5 is not a fast car. It's not a slow car, but it's definitely not a fast car these days either. So it's kind of a mediocre performer in general, but it does have a nice low upgrade live racing setup that wins some live races. Still not the best live racing car in the world, but it's not a bad car either. If you set this up properly on low upgrade, you'll get 628 on the performance points and 1659 on the Evo, which is not too bad. I do have a video that goes over this car. So yeah, it looks like a decent car. This one is not part of collections, but if we go look at the dyno time, let's find out if this car is capable of beating the dyno. So it's got an 8.4 on the dyno and it runs in the 7.5. So let me make sure I've got this correct. That doesn't seem right. So if you look at the dyno time on this car, it's running roughly 7.8 on the dyno and it's running 7.5. So it does beat the dyno time by a couple tenths of a second. So overall, this is a nice car. Not the world's greatest car, but it's not too bad. And if you need to, if you got enough parts on this, it'll beat Tempest 1, Tempest 2, and Tempest 3, but only if you have enough parts on the car. Okay, so now we're looking at the Urus Performante, and it looks like you can get this car out of collections, but when you max it out, it's running in the 9.8 or the 9.9s. It does 282 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 1.5, 0 to 100 and 2.7, and if you tune this right, you can max this thing out and make it beat Tempest 3 Tier 4. So it can hit the 0 to 60 time and the 0 to 100, plus run faster than the boss if you have enough parts on it. Now this car does have a low upgrade setup that you might be able to use to win a couple of live races, but I don't think this is going to be your best live racing car, but we were able to get 579 on the performance points and 1324 on the Evo, with low upgrades, but not my preferred live racer. And we did have to put a stage 6 transmission and a stage 6 body on the car in order to get it to those numbers. So yeah, kind of a pain in the butt for live racing. So this car has a 10.048 on the dyno time, but it's running in the 9.8, 9.9. So this car does beat dyno by a little bit, so it does have that going. So that's a good thing right there. I mean, overall, this is an okay car. You know, it's not one of my favorite tier 4 cars in the game, but it's definitely got a few things going for it. So if you need a tier 4 car to beat Tempest, Lamborghini Fusion parts aren't too hard to get. Getting the stage 6, well, you're definitely going to need all of those, or most of those at least, to beat Tempest 3 Tier 4 with it, plus the right tunes. But you can get this car out of collection, so that is something to think about. Do you really want to pull this out of the race pass, or would you rather spend your collections tokens? That's up to you. Now, next on the list, we have the Bentley Continental Speed, and I don't know what happened to my camera there. Hold on a second. I don't love it. I don't love it. It doesn't really have much of anything going for it in my opinion, but we'll go over the stats. So when you max this car out, it does run in the 7.8s. It does 336 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.8, 0 to 100 in like 1.3, and it does not have a good low upgrade live racing setup. It doesn't really do anything good, to tell you the truth, so I'm not a fan of this one. Not a fan at all. Alright, so the car's got a 7.865 on the very fastest time ever recorded, or at least one of the fastest times ever recorded, but it's got a 7.915 on the dyno. Most of the time you're going to be running in the 7.9, so the car is really not much of a dyno beating car, guys and girls. It's not the greatest car in the world, unfortunately. So I don't like this one bit. I would say this is the worst out of all the cars. Maybe not all the cars, but all the cars in the race pass, I should say. Now, out of these three cars, the only reason you would choose the Bentley is if you had the other two cars. Besides that, the Bentley sucks. It's kind of a turd taco, guys. It's a big old turd burger. It is a poo-poo doo-doo diarrhea extravaganza. I don't know what that means, but it's not very good. All right, so if you need a tier 4 car to beat Tempest, I would grab the Urus. If you just need a decent tier 5 car, I would grab the 718. So that's kind of how I look at it. But the Urus is in collection, so it definitely wouldn't be my first choice because you can easily go in there and grab that out of collections if you've earned some collections tokens. So 718 Spider RS is my number 1 choice. Urus Performante, my number 2 choice. And then my number 3 choice, I mean, that's not even a choice. It's that bad. I hate that car. I would not choose that car. I would just not buy the race pass if that were the only choice I had. I would just get a duplicate of one of the others and strip it, to tell you the truth. I mean, I guess if you don't already have the Bentley and you've got the other two, then grab the Bentley. But yeah, no thanks, Bentley. Yuck. So what's really interesting is a couple of days ago it showed the other Intenza. This is showing the all black one. A minute ago, or yesterday, it was showing the one that was like purple. So they've changed the car, I guess. I'm a little confused here because the icon has definitely changed from what it showed the other day. So yeah. So I'm about 99.9% sure it was showing this was the car, but now it's looking like this over here is the car. So it's one of these two cars right here. So I think it's supposed to be this car right here. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, so the black one runs a 7.243 maxed out, 432 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.8, and 0 to 100 in 1.4. Now the other one, just in case it's this, runs a 7.384, 325 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.4, and 0 to 100 in 0.9. So this one has better acceleration stats, but you know, they both have very similar times overall. The black one's slightly faster overall. This one has better acceleration, I do believe, but they're pretty much the same car. Both of these are unbelievably hard to get fusion parts for, unfortunately. So the black version of this car does have a very nice low upgrade setup that should be pretty good at live racing, where you just do stage 3 nitrous, stage 6 body, stage 3 tires, stage 6 transmission, and everything else goes back to stock, and it gets over 2,000 Evo points. So that's looking promising. Now the other one, on the other hand, the purple one, not so much. When I basically do the same thing to this car, I either get plus 300 or I get in the minuses when I try to tune it. So this one right here, unfortunately, I guess it's not as similar as I thought, because this one does not seem to have a live racing setup on low upgrades, but the black one over here definitely does. So if you get the black one, I would say that's the much better car over the purple one. So yeah, that's if it's the black one, then this car is actually worth getting. If you can get the parts for it. That's the thing. If you can get the parts for it. This car is very, very rare, and so are the parts. Now the black version, when you max it out, it doesn't really beat the dyno time by much, so it's not really a dyno beater, but it does have a good low performance high upgrade setup, and the purple version of this car does not. So it depends on what you're getting here. If you're getting the black version, it's a pretty sweet live racer. If you're getting the purple version, not so much. Not so much. All right, so next up on the list, let's go check out that Pandem V1 GR Supra. And this is a pretty interesting little car. All right, so if we check out this Supra, if you max this thing out, it's going to do a 7.0, 437 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.8, 0 to 100 in about 1.3. So those stats look pretty nice. This is not a bad little car. Not a bad little car at all. You can set this car up to live race. You can set this car up to beat the dyno time. You can set it up for good top speed, really good acceleration. This is just a great all-around car. Now, every one of these Tier 5 cars will have no problem getting through Tempest. So no matter which Tier 5 car you pick out of here, if you're trying to do Tempest, as long as you have enough parts for the car, they will all do it. But if I put all the parts, if I refit all of these parts all back to stage 4, that's where I get a nice live racing setup for this Pandem Supra V1 GR Supra. Okay, you guys get the drift. And Toyota parts aren't that hard to get, which is nice, at least for the Fusions. Now, when you max this car out, it's got a 7.2 on the dyno, and it's running in the 7.0s or the 7.1. So this one can beat the dyno by a little bit naturally. And if you know how to tune it and set it up, you can make it beat the dyno by a little bit more. So this can be a pretty decent all-around car, right? It's not one of the best cars in the game or anything, but it's a very decent car, right? Very decent. Not a great car, not an amazing car. It's almost as good as the GR Supra that you can get from Elite Tuners. The GR Supra from Elite Tuners is a little bit better than this one, but this one is almost as nice. So this is a overall really decent car. Okay, so next up on the list, we do have the Aston Martin Victor. Maxed out, this running 6.875, 438 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.7, 0 to 100 in 1.1, or maybe 1.2. So all of those times are actually looking pretty good. This car does have a low upgrade setup where you can live race it with like 1,600 Evo. I mean, I would normally like to... Oh my gosh, I hit the wrong button. Now this car is part of collections, so if you have enough collections credits, you can always just go into collections and pick this one up. So that is something to think about right there. So this is a collections car. On the low upgrade setup for live racing, it does need a stage 6 transmission, and it does need a stage 6 body plus stage 3 nitrous and tires. All the other parts are fit back to stock, but you know, I would prefer to see more than 1,600 Evo. But it'll probably do pretty decent for live racing on the low upgrade setup. I mean, it's probably not going to be the best live racer in the game, but it should do somewhat decent. So this car does dyno at a 6.959 and it runs a 6.875. So it does beat the dyno time by a little teeny tiny bit. It's probably not the world's best live racer, but it's an overall nice car. You know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So out of the 3 cars that are paid, I'm going to say the Intenza is probably the coolest one out of them all. Problem is, right, it's not easy to get fusion parts for this, and Purple Star cars do have paid crates, so that is something to think about. Now, if you're actually getting the all black one there, it's going to be a great live racer without too terribly many upgrades, but it does need a few upgrades on it. So if you don't want to deal with that, I would say grab the Supra because it's not part of collection. So you can grab that. And then, you know, if you want the Victor, you can grab that. The Victor, all right, so the Intenza is probably the best car in here. The second best would be the Victor, and the third best would be the Toyota. But there are some things that make me think that maybe, just maybe, the Toyota is going to be your better choice because it's easier to get fusion parts for. Now, Aston Martin is also very easy to get parts for. So this is a really hard choice here. I mean, the Intenza would be my #1 pick, but the fact that you're not going to get fusion parts for this easily, let's go see how many fusion parts I even have for something like this after playing the game for roughly going on 9 years. All right, so if you look at that, I hardly have any green, I hardly have any blue, and I have absolutely 0 pink parts for this car. So that's the main issue with the Apollo is good luck trying to get any parts for that thing. I mean, I probably don't even have enough parts here to set that up on the low upgrade live racing setup. So that's a little bit of an issue if you ever need to upgrade this car. Now, if they do use this for an event sometime in the future, there will probably be some ways to get some parts for it a little bit easier, but, and that's a big old giant but, baby got back. I guess for this, I would say grab the Apollo for the cool factor, but if you want something more practical, grab the Toyota and then get the Victor out of the collections. I think that's exactly how I would do it. As much as I like the Apollo, you're just not going to be able to get parts for that thing easily unless you're buying the paid crates, or if you're lucky enough to have another Apollo that's in Golden Stars, then you can go in the rare imports. But I don't think there's a Golden Star version, because Golden Star cars have bronze key crates. You know, Purple Star cars, you pay like $20 per crate. I mean, it's not really 20 bucks, but it feels that way. Now, when it comes to Supras, on the other hand, though, this GR Supra, the Elite Tuners one, this is a really cool car. And if you haven't got this thing yet, you're definitely going to get this for free once you start Elite Tuners. This is a really cool car, and it is better than the Pandem V1 Supra in the collections, just so you guys know. Hands down, this one is a noticeable amount better in a lot of different ways. Not a lot better, but noticeably better for many different things. So yeah. I mean, there's really nothing special in the free tier, but if you can hit race number 20 here, or I should say milestone number 20, you're going to get a universal stage 6 part that you can use on any car. You're going to get some universal fusion parts that you can use on any car. Those come in very handy. That way, when you do have a very rare car, you can throw those on there, right? But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff past here. I mean, most people don't get that far into the race pass, but this is a little bit of a complicated one. I mean, when it comes to the free cars, there's really not anything in there that knocks my socks off. When it comes to the paid cars, I'm going to say that gets a little bit complicated. But I don't know. I mean, me personally, I would probably grab the Apollo and the Porsche, I'm thinking. Those would probably be my top two choices. I would grab the Porsche and I would grab the Apollo just because the Apollo is really cool, and I don't think I have one. I do not have an Intenza, but honestly, that black one, if you actually get the black one on the lower grade setup, that looks pretty sweet if you can get fusion parts to put on it and all that stuff. So that's going to be a rough one to build, unfortunately, but it is a very cool car. Anyways, I hope going over all these cars really helps you guys decide which ones you want to get. I mean, there's no great choice here for a lot of reasons. This one's a little bit complicated. There's some decent choices. They're all a little bit different, but you kind of got to decide for yourself which ones you actually want. This video is just kind of to give you some information about each car and help you decide which one to get. So bottom line is, make the right choice. Think very hard about it before you pick a car, because if you grab the wrong one, you might be like, "Doe, I'm Homer Simpson. I messed up." You know, you don't want to do that. So think very hard before choosing the wrong car. I mean, there's some advantages and disadvantages of all the cars in there, so it's an interesting race pass. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. You guys and gals are awesome. I really do appreciate you guys watching my videos, hanging out with me on the live streams and everything else. Even just watching more of these videos really helps out the channel, so maybe click on one of these videos that's just about to pop up on the screen. Huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys so much for the extra support. All of this does make these videos possible. If you check the video's description or the pinned comment, you'll see my affiliate links where you can get some awesome stuff. You'll see a link to the Danny Lightning merch store. You'll see some links to some game news and some spreadsheets and stuff down there in the video's description as well. So that stuff might interest you. And again, maybe check out one of these videos. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you a lot. Have a wonderful day. Hope this video helped, and we will catch you next time. See ya!